Good morning, students. Our today's topic is Lost Spring Stories of Stolen Childhood by Anis Young. Anis Young, an Indian woman author and journalist, belongs to an aristocratic family of poets, and her most noted work, Unveiling India, that was published in 1987, was a detailed chronicle of the lives of women in India. Dear student, this chapter is basically divided into two parts, and this is the first hand experience of the author. The very first chapter tells us about Sahib e Alam, or you can say depict the plight of the poor rag pickers of Sibapuri, that is on Delhi UP border. And part 2 is about Mukesh, and it tells us about the conditions of the bangle makers of Firozabad. And in this chapter, basically, we have three characters: part 1 Sahib, part 2 Mukesh, and narrator, the one who is narrating this story. Part 1. Sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage. Dear students, every morning the author meets Sahib and his friends scrounging for gold in the garbage dumps of our neighborhood. Dear students, Sahib and all rag pickers, basically they are from Bangladesh and they have left their home a long time ago. Actually, storms washed away their fields and homes, reducing them to a state of poverty. So, the author asks Sahib that why he does rag picking and why he doesn't go to school. And Sahib replies that there is no school in their neighborhood. An author promised him to open a school. And after a few days, Sahib asks that if the school has opened. But at that time, the author, she is very embarrassed at having made a fake promise that was not meant to be filled. Dear student, there is an irony in the name of the main character. His full name was Sahib e Alam, which means Lord of the Universe. But Sahib in this story is merely a rag picker, and he would not believe what his name means. Or you can say that he is unaware of the meaning of his name. He roams here and there with his gang barefoot on the streets. And that's why one day the author curiously asks that why they don't wear slippers. And one of them replies that his mother does not bring them down from the shelf, and another says that he wants shoes. So dear students, we can feel that these are merely the excuses to explain away a perpetual state of poverty. The author remembers a man from Udupi who, as a young boy, would pass a temple where his father was a priest and he prayed for a pair of shoes. 30 years later, the author went to his town. Behind the temple, there was the house of a new priest, and the narrator noticed that the young boy of the priest who arrived panting, he was wearing shoes. And dear students, it reminded the narrator of the boy who prayed that he should never lose his shoes. The goddess had granted his prayer, as most of the young boys there now have shoes to wear. As against this, the rag pickers in the author's neighborhood still remain barefoot. One day, the author's acquaintance with the barefoot rag pickers take her to Simapuri. Dear students, this place Simapuri is a place on the outer border of Delhi and UP, but metaphorically it is miles away from it. Dear students, all of you know that Delhi is the capital of India, and inside Delhi we have a long list of MNCs, good universities, good colleges. Life is sound there, but whatever the conditions the people have on the outer border of Delhi, basically we are talking about Simapuri, that is entirely different. Actually, poor conditions, and you can say that mud structures, no sewage, drainage, no running water. And dear student, the only blessing for them that they have valid ration card to get the grain, and they are happy to live in this strange land also. You know that basically they are from Bangladesh, and that was a beautiful place of green rivers and fields. But just because of the storm, they left their homes and they got settled in Delhi also. So dear student, this rag picking for elders, it's a means of arrival, survival. But for children, this is a wonder. This is wrapped in wonder. You know the reason? Because Sahib himself tells the author that sometimes he finds a rupee and even a 10 rupee note. So please note down that this garbage having two different meanings for different people. For elders, it's a means of survival because they are able to fulfill their needs just because of this rag picking. But for children, it's a treasure of wonderful things. Dear students, one morning, the author sees Sahib outside the fenced gate of the neighborhood club. Actually, he is watching a game of tennis. Sahib seems to be fascinated by the game, and he tells the author that sometimes the guard of that club gives him the permission and he can ride the swing also. The author notices that Sahib wearing tennis shoes. Sahib tells her that someone gave this pair of shoes to him. Actually, this pair of shoes, it's understood that some rich boy discarded the shoes because there was a hole in one of them. And dear students, for Sahib, it is just like a dream come true. And towards the end of the story, the author sees Sahib on his way to the milk booth. And at that time, he is carrying a steel canister also. He informs the author that now he works at the tea stall and where he gets rupees 800 per month and all his meals also. But author feels one thing, that Sahib is not happy at all. Actually, his face has lost its carefree look, and the bag was his, but the canister belongs to the owner of the tea stall, and we can say that Sahib is no longer his own master. That's it.